Alex, and you are watching Peach Perfect. Thanks so much for tuning in. So today I am going to be reviewing a product that I love talking about because it's like, you know, what I do for a living. So I love reviewing dental products. So cannot wait to show y'all what I got, how to use it, all that good stuff. So before I jump into that, a couple of reminders. One, if you are new to my channel, welcome. So happy to have you here. Definitely hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot of awesome videos coming up that you do not want to miss out on. Two, I do have an Amazon wish list. So if there's something in particular that you want to see me try on or review, definitely check that out. Got lots of goodies on there. And three, I do have a Patreon account. So if there is a more exclusive side to me that you would like to see, definitely check out my Patreon. I post weekly exclusive selfies and videos that you are not going to find anywhere else other than my Patreon. So definitely check that out. So this is a company called RENPHO, and I've actually worked with them before and done a couple product reviews. Amazing company, great customer service. And they have been awesome enough to send us a 10% off discount code. So everything, the product itself, the link to the product, a link to their kind of store and their website, and the discount code will be linked in the bio of this video. So you don't have to remember any of this. Excuse me. So I especially, like I said, love doing product reviews on stuff like this because this is what I know. This is what I've been doing for 13 years. I was a dental assistant from 17 to 20, and then I was in hygiene school, and then I've been a hygienist since 2012. So this is what I do. I've been in dentistry for 13 years, and this is what I know just a little bit of something about. So they're calling it an oral irrigator, which is the perfect name for it. We call it a water pick. Same thing, just, you know, it's just different verbiage. But I love water picks because it really helps get below the surface. This is something that I typically recommend to like 60% of my patients. Water picks are great for anybody that has any type of periodontal disease, which is basically disease of the tissue surrounding the tooth. So you've got the tooth, and then you've got three different kind of things that surround the tooth. It sits into the bone, it's anchored into the bone by the periodontal ligament, and then there's the gum tissue, the gums, that wraps around the ligament and the bone. So you don't see the ligament and you don't see the bone, you just see the tissue, but all three of those things are kind of wrapped around the root of the tooth. So we've got something called free gingiva, which is like the non-attached, so typically like from where my bracelets are down, it's attached, so it's actually like locked on to the tooth, but then from like my bracelets up, you've got like 1 to 3 millimeters of free gingiva, which is not attached to the tooth, which basically means since it's not attached, things can kind of get down below the gum line and kind of get stuck between the tooth and the tissue. So if any of y'all have ever had like SRP or scaling and root planing, or like most of y'all know it as a deep cleaning, that's what happens is food, debris, bacteria, whatever, plaque, calculus, kind of get down below the gum tissue, and it's wedged in between the tissue and the tooth, and it's attached to the actual root of the tooth. So that's why I love this kind of product, because what happens is it actually kind of goes below the gum tissue, in between the tooth and the gum tissue, and it kind of irrigates anything of that out of there. So the one big thing I will say, and I don't care what any company, and I'm not saying that they say this, I don't care what any company will say, because you see commercials all the time for these kind of products, and they're like, oh, it's a replacement for flossing. No, it's not. Oh my gosh, it's so not a replacement for flossing. Do not listen to that. It is total garbage. They've obviously never worked clinically in a mouth before. It drives me insane when people say that. And again, I'm not saying that they say that, but a lot of people, oh, well, if I get a water pick, I can stop flossing. No, it's an addition to tool, not a replacement for tool. So really how I tell people to use this, and I know that most companies and most products will say not to do this, but I like to live life on the edge a little bit. How I recommend most of my patients use it, and the cool thing about this is that it's handheld. So a lot of like the true irrigators or water picks will actually be like this hunky thing that sits on the counter, and then it's got like a cord, like an old school like phone cord, like curly cord, and then it attaches to the actual handle. The cool thing about something like this is that it is handheld, so that there's not a big thing on your sink and you're trying to maneuver around the cord. But what I typically tell people to do is at the bottom of this thing is the little reservoir that you can kind of fill up with water. But what I typically tell people to do is do like 3/4 water and 1/4 Listerine. That's how I've always used mine. That's how I always will recommend to use it to patients. And the reason for that is Listerine is an antimicrobial, so it's going to help kill bacteria. So not only are you actually irrigating below the gum line, so in between the tissue and the tooth, that under that free gingiva area, you're irrigating, but then you're also helping kill bacteria that's wedged down in there that brushing and flossing won't always get. Huge contributing factor with like bad breath and periodontal disease and gingivitis. So again, that's how I use it. The main thing is that because it's meant for water only, what I always tell people to do is use the full reservoir. Do it until it's completely empty where you can't get anything else out. Then fill it up with warm water and just hold it over the sink and just drain it. Because then anything that would kind of gunk the lines up, you're getting out with like some lukewarm water. That's how I've always used it. That's how I recommend. Obviously water is just fine. It's just the Listerine is going to help make it an antimicrobial to kill the bacteria. But so still floss, still brush. It's just that flossing and brushing can only get down to a certain point in your mouth, or something like this is actually going to get down to the base of the sulcus, which is basically where the tooth and the tissue are and the bone level is my bracelets. That's the base of that. So you kind of want to use something like this to kind of help get down to the base of that brushing and flossing isn't always going to get. So the cool thing about this is it is something that you can kind of take with you, so it's portable because it's the handheld and it's not the big hunker that you put on your counter. So there's powerful stream, quiet design, and there's 4 modes. So I just want to read everything about this. So it says there's a normal, a soft, a pulse, and a DIY mode. There's a powerful water jet stream, 30 to 120 psi with up to 1,800 pulses per minute. Quiet motor, long battery lifetime. It says that it typically provides for about 30 days once it's fully charged, which is super awesome. I hate having to charge things like every day. It's waterproof, fully waterproof, so they say that you can take it in to the shower. And it's got a USB rechargeable design. That's awesome. And this specific product, it contains the water flosser, so the actual unit, and then 5 jet tips, 1 charger, 1 USB cable, 1 storage bag, and then 1 user manual. So I love stuff like this. And the other good thing about something like this, parents, if you have a teenager in braces, this is heaven in a box. It makes cleaning around braces so easy, because that's the number one gripe. I love braces, but that's the number one gripe that I have with braces is that typically no one brushes and flosses the way they should, and especially teenagers do not do it. So you've got teenagers that you've spent, you know, a couple $1,000s on their beautiful braces to make their teeth beautiful in a couple of years, and what happens is they're not cleaning around them, and they're not flossing, and they're not brushing, and plaque and calculus and debris get around those wires and bands and the brackets and everything, and then they get decalcification, which are these chunky white spots all around the bracket. So you take off these braces, and you're expecting this beautiful smile, and you've got these beautiful straight teeth with these white things all over them, and it just kills me that you've been in something for so long, and then you take them off, and you can't reverse it. So definitely, if you are a parent with somebody that you know in braces, get them a water pick. It is the best thing that you can do for them, because it really helps irrigate around the bracket so that no plaque and bacteria are sitting on the teeth for any extended amount of time, so that you're not getting that decalcification, you're not hurting the tooth. Fantastic. I promise you it is worth every cent. So yeah, so that is, it definitely is a little awkward. I'm not gonna show you a video tutorial, just because you'll probably laugh, but it is a little awkward to use at first, just because you're kind of making a mess. I probably would either recommend it, you know, doing it in the shower or completely over the sink. I mean, like completely over the sink, and maybe even naked, because you're probably going to get it all over you. But really kind of how you want to do it is you just kind of want to go over the sink. If you're going to do it in the sink, just keep your mouth open, and it's just going to drain out. So it is kind of a weird concept when you first start using one, but I promise, oh my gosh, you will love it. And what I typically recommend for my patients is you can do it every day. And if you have time to, 100% do it every day. But most people don't even floss every day. Most people don't brush every day, so why am I going to expect you to do this every day? The way that I typically tell people to do is do it a couple times a week. 2 to 3 times a week, because really what you're trying to do is just get plaque from under that gum line out of there, so that it doesn't turn into calculus. And then if it turns into calculus, that's when you have to come see me, and I've got to be really mean and dig all that stuff off of the roots of your teeth under the gum line, and then you don't like me, and then you blame it on me, even though it was really your fault. So definitely give this a go. You'll love it. You will not regret it. Promise. Pinky promise with a cherry on top. So thank you, RENPHO, for sending this over. I am always up for doing dental product reviews, because like I said, this is what I know. So definitely check that out. If you've got any questions or concerns, please reach out. This is definitely one that you can really reach out to me, because I promise I will help you through the process if you want to try to use one. Everything, like I said, will be linked in the bio of this video, so any questions on that, it will be linked. And then, as always, you can always find me on Instagram at mypeachperfect, and my personal account is badassglass. And I hope that y'all are having a fantastic summer and staying safe and healthy, and I will see y'all soon. Mwah.